So, man, when I started DJing, you know, I was at junior high school, Warner Junior High, Westminster, California, which is in Huntington Beach. And I was like, I got to come up with a name. And I'm like,
and say your name again.
My full name is Konstantinos Tsimahidis, right?
Tsimahidis.
Did I say it right? Yeah. So I had all these names, man. I was like, yeah, I'll do something Greek or like, you know,
DJ Aristotle.
some Messi
DJ
and
Plato.
all this stuff. And then I was like, my boy was like, yo, we're already calling you Cocoe. And Cocoe came from my grandmother. My grandmother called me Cocoe, right? All my friends would come over. And that was a name that kind of stuck to me as a child because my sister could not say my name when I was young. She would just say Cocoe, right? Instead of Costa, which is short for Konstantinos. And then I was like, oh, it's just Cocoe.
It's right there.
Right? So in the early days, it's just COCO. My boy Cyrus, R.I.P., OG graffiti writer, very talented cat, past a young age. We used to go to the Compton swap meet and get, you know, I was into graffiti. So I was in a bunch of crews, big in the graffiti scene in L.A. and Orange County. And my boy Cyrus, like, he's like, yo, I'm gonna do your name. And he did it with the E to make it hip hop, right? Because there was so many Cocos, right?
Right.
And I kept it. I still got my hat, dude. I still have it at the shop. If you ever come through, I'll show you the Holy Grail where it all started, right? And it's like a hunter green joint, right? There was this lady, we used to call her Juki, and it's only because her sewing machine was a Juki, and she used to do your tag or whatever with the piece of like wax pencil, and she would just like stitch it out real quick. So then it just stuck. So Cocoe with an E. And it came basically from my grandmother, so it just stuck with me. You know, I was always in the record stores. Where I grew up, behind my house, I went through an alley, through the apartments, and then I was at Licorice Pizza, my neighborhood record store.
I'm not.
So I'd go in there,
one.
and you know, my dad would give me $20.
Yeah,
that was nice.
I would starve. My family owned a burger joint. We had a burger joint in Compton Boulevard in Santa Fe from the 70s. Legendary spot. Eazy-E, Williams Sisters. Dude, everybody knew the spot, right? Legendary. 45 years. And then we had one in Orange County really close to my house. So I would like save my 20s. You know, grab a couple silver dollars out of the money bag in the closet, and I'd just hit up the record store and I'd just buy singles. I'd buy singles, man. Trenier, Dino, Stevie B, all that stuff that was just like back in the day. And I just like, you know, build my crate.
What are some of the stores that you said you worked at?
So I worked at some legendary spots in the heyday. So, I grew up right with the rave scene in L.A., right? 89, 90, sneaking out of the house, going to raves. I worked at, my first record store I worked at was Beat Nonstop. And that was on Melrose. It was the most legendary store. I mean, everybody would go in there, man. Top tier record store, and I used to shop there, and I wanted to work there so bad. And I was working at this place called Zack Attack, which the owner was super shady and racist, but like, you know, he had cool shit in there.
I was gonna say he had all the good stuff.
He had all the shit in there, and I was like, you know,
if he's gonna make money, he'll put the racism aside.
So I worked there. And, it was the type of place where it was like, you got to stay working all day, right? People would talk shit to me. We had like...
You got to be busy.
Wide pants and shit like that. And, dude, it was just one of those days where I was like, fuck this guy. I'm done with like, this dude is just like, I see how he treats people. He come in, and I was like, I'm done. Well, my boy Vince was like working at Beat Nonstop, which was like a random dude to work there, right? Because he was kind of a protege. And I was like, oh man, that's my favorite store. I want to work there. And randomly called me. He paged me. I had a pager, the Motorola. And he's like, I call him back. There was a payphone right outside. This is I'm aging myself.
Yeah.
So I
We're
call him
all
back.
that old.
Rainy day.
We're all at least that old.
Yeah, rainy day at the beach. And I was like, this was one of those days where I was like a kid. And I was just furious, right?